Hey YouTube, it's your favorite baby sin. It's Spoot with Fort Misery Gaming. Today we're going to go over something a little easier. Not that really any of the stuff we've gone over is particularly difficult. We're going to do equipment today. There are a couple of intricacies that you might not be aware of, especially if nobody has actually told you. So we're going to go over a couple of the smaller things, like leveling them up, looking at different stats, re-rolling, that kind of thing. So to start, let me see where my SSR equipment is. Because I do not remember who I put it on. There we are. That will give you a sense of the different tiers, which is a good thing. Alright. So all gear can be broken down into a couple of different things. You've got one slot on the left, or you got 3 slots on the left, 3 slots on the right. The slots on the left have higher stats in general than the slots on the right. So these tend to be your focuses. So belt, necklace, and bracer are going to be the pieces of equipment you get the most gear stat out of. The big deal about these is like, so this one has 331 attack, this one only has 128. Admittedly, it is the difference between an SR and an R, but even then it would still be almost a 100-point difference. So this is a big thing to remember when you're looking to min-max, because every single one of these icons on the bottom left are a different style. So you'll see like Onslaught is a 4-set, you get attack 20%. You're only going to get one of them, so you got to figure out sort of what your second one is. Iron Wall is 20% defense on a 2-set, so it lets you fill out another 4. Concentration lets you have extra crit chances. Mind's Eye is a 2-set. You have crit resistance. You have recovery rate on a 2-set. Crit damage on a 2-set. Crit defense on a 2-set, etc., etc. So these all are sort of things that you can take into account as you get more types of equipment. But to start, don't even really worry about that too much. So SSR equipment is going to be the stuff you get very rarely unless you're farming it out at a very high level. So you will most likely only have a couple pieces by the time you get to the end of the game. So let's take a look at the Mind's Eye Belt, for example. So it's got about 4k HP on it. That's a lot. 4k HP is a lot in any set. You can change stats. You can also, as you awaken it, you can unlock bonus stats. Here's why you don't focus on SSR equipment. You go, all right, that's a pretty bad roll on that bar. Out of, 5,200 possible HP, I've only got about 4139. So how do we change it? You roll it with diamonds. Don't do that. I mean, you can if you want. I'm not your dad. I can't really tell you what to do. But don't. For me. Don't do it. It's 2 diamonds a pop, and you can roll lower. You can absolutely spend 2 diamonds on this and bunk a stat. So don't really fall into that. It's just easier to grind the equipment and hope for high rolls. Also because, you don't want to be spending your gems on equipment when you've got banners coming up. So we'll go to SR equipment, which is significantly easier to look at. That's 10,000 gold. Everybody can live with that. It's a couple of times. I'll show you. So that's got 300 attack on it. I lost 32 attack on a roll. Not great, not bad. The downside to these is, on the bonuses, there are only so many stats you can actually unlock. Let me find an unlocked piece. He doesn't have any equipped, so let's find our baby boy. I believe I put one on him, but we'll see. There it is, +2. Change stats. Oh no, that just, oh, okay, I didn't do it. So, as you enhance equipment, you can awaken it. When you awaken equipment, you can unlock other stats for it. These things are generally crit chance, defense. It's crit chance, defense, pierce, and then there's another stat on it that are secondary. Those are really the only 4 you get until you unlock it completely, and you can get multiples of the same one. I believe it's lifesteal, now that I think about it. So all of these are called secondary effects. They are not the primary stat. They are just additional. And they can be pretty good. Like lifesteal on a big damage dealer is going to be a big deal. Pierce against heavy defense static guys is going to be a really good deal. Sever, which is crit chance, is really... Well, now I guess there's technically difference, and Sever just has a higher crit chance. There are a lot of things that will work out really well for you. So let's check this dude out. So as you can see, I've just got Iron Wall on him because he's defensive anyway, and I'm not really using him a whole lot in anything but story mode. Oh, that's not even the right Meliodas. I am making a fool of myself. An absolute fool. Where's my boy? There's my boy. There we go. So I've got him more onslaughted out. I also have the 2 slot for Heart, although it's not popping up because it takes the 4 set. So this is the difference where you could min-max. So if I had a piece that lets you get, you know, crit resistance, for example, or recovery rate, you could slide those into these other 2 slots, and you would be absolutely fine. The big thing about these being is rares are the ones you generally want to gamble on the most, because that's cheap. Like, that's actually got a good roll on it, so I'm not going to touch it. Let's see what this one is. There we go. That's about as low as you can cut. So everything's going uphill for Milhouse. So I got 4 defense off of 6 grand. There we go. That's way better. So I actually got a max roll. You'll notice the gold line is around the defense. That means you have the highest roll you can get. It's a lot easier to maintain rare equipment in the beginning because they don't give you a ton of materials other than farming equipment and hoping for high rolls. Now, high rolls. Now, there is an event going on, 2 actually. You have the Equip Enhancement, which lets you pretty much get special rewards, you get enhancement stuff, and then you have the Awakening. So you can, we'll just run you in here, show you one real quick. I think it's probably going to make us run the, oh, wait, what? That's weird. There we go. Alright, so let's try to do the Awakening now. So let's strengthen some equipment and see what it does. There we go. That's what I was looking for. So we'll just take 290, 145. Yeah, that's fine. Not going to lose too much on this one no matter what. So we'll enhance it a couple of times. You can set it up for as many as you want. They're not crazy expensive, but you do want a certain amount of enhances. And up to 5, you're pretty much guaranteed the enhance, so it's not like it's a really big deal. And then you awaken! So we'll just do this on a goof piece, because why not? Now we have a 1-star. There it is. That's what I was looking for. Hey, and we got a guaranteed flat rollout. Now, these are some of your guaranteed ones. So on this one, you get defense, resistance, crit defense. This changes on the piece of equipment. Ones that have attack on them tend to have lifesteal and crit chance on them, for example. There are a pool of abilities that you can get, and they're fine. They're not great, they're not awful, but every little bit of a percentage helps, especially if you're trying to get to like an end boss or any PvP or anything like that. So right now they do reward you for upgrading things. I think I can actually go back and grab that chest. I don't know if I did it enough times to get it off the bat. Nope, I gotta do one more piece. So we will awaken another piece, so we'll pick something cheaper this time. We'll do a rare. Sorry, Arthur. Your digs are too good. I think I got some goof on him. We'll do this one. Oh no, it's already... I didn't do 5. I gotta do 5. Come on, you goofies. I think I put... There we go. This will work out. So we change stats. Everything's there. We enhance it. 5 times. Now you notice upgrading rare equipment is significantly cheaper. That's kind of the rate. You're going to turn a lot of your commons and uncommons into forging material, and your rares are going to kind of be the baselines for okay equipment until you get better equipment. And there's nothing wrong with running a set of rare gear if you've got high roll stats on it. Like, yeah, you're going to be doing a little worse, but if you don't have the higher gear, like, what do? Like, you just do this. Alright, so this has got attack on it. So attack, pierce rate, crit chance, crit damage. These are ones that have, like, these are the bracelet stats. So we'll go ahead and awaken one. See what we got. We got a pretty good attack stat, actually. Out of 3%, we got 2.7. That's not terrible. You can use anvils to re-roll any of these secondary stats. Don't do that yet. You only get those from the equipment gotcha currently, which I'll actually pull one on so you guys can see it if you haven't really dug into it. That gets really expensive, and the anvils for the time being are kind of a limited resource, so I don't really recommend going down that rabbit hole if you don't have to. So we will go collect our goodies. So you get 3 awakening stones, which are fine. Those are just for SR equipment. And then we got 2 gems, because, you know, why not? Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, no, we got 2 more gems. That was fine. Alright, so going to the shop, you've got equipment draw. You're going to get, like, a freebie a day, and you're going to get bundles of keys occasionally. You can grind them out, but I do not believe that place is in the map currently. Let me actually see if I have a bundle of them. I think I might. I do. Nope, that's the gold dungeon. I do not have any equipment keys. Alright, so we're just going to do a flat, pay 200 grand for a draw. Because I love you and because I want you to see it. That looked like that's a rainbow. We're pretty much guaranteed a piece of SSR gear. We do not know what it will be. Hey, we got an onslaught rune. That's not too bad. And then a bunch of stuff that probably will never touch. Hey, we got a second one too. I didn't even see that. Alright, so let's go back into... Let's do our big boy anyway. So we got an SSR, we got a life rune, which will actually be pretty helpful, and we got an onslaught rune. So I've got him pretty much critted out. Let's see... I believe the life gear I was running on him. Yep, so I can swap out some of this gear for other parts. So that's an SR for 1,700. This one has 2,200, so the jump between SR and SSR is significant. The downside being is, unless you roll really high on those, you're not re-rolling those stats unless you really like spending money, and I am not that person, so I'm not going to tell you to do it or not, but I ain't doing it. And I don't have the other crit chance piece, so I'll have to goof some equipment and mess around with it. But that's pretty much it. So, and that's not even a high roll on it. You can get up to 2,800. But you're spending gems, and you can go lower. So that's pretty much it for equipment guides. There are a couple of places you can grind out equipment. It tends to be boss fights, but it's also a lot of the free levels, so I'll show you one of those real quick, just to give you an idea of where to get it. Pop over to the world. This is where the treasure view looks really good. So like every one of these pieces, every one of these has a chance to drop equipment. I believe let's look at the boss battle first and see what they can drop. I believe they can drop equipment, it's just not as high a percentage. Alright, so let's look at the rewards. Yeah, you've got a chance of getting a rare onslaught rune, but most of this is equipment. Or most of this is awakening gear, stuff like that. So let's go to... We'll just go back to the beginning. We'll do Kane's Village. So on easy, you've got Onslaught Bracelet, Onslaught Bracelet, Onslaught Bracelet. And then the higher you go, the higher the gear. So you have a chance on a gold bracelet of getting, or on a 5% gold box, you have a bracelet. This goes up and up. So like you've got a 3% on the highest difficulty, and to do that, you have to raise the friendship in all of the area's villages. So like right now, I've got Vanya at 4 stars. or 4 hearts out of 5. I've done almost all of the quests for him. I have a couple left that I've been putting off because I'm only now getting through the story mode. I'm almost done with it, but I've been focusing mostly on PvP and grinding out the little stuff. As you can see, I've got a significant amount of gems for the next banner, so that'll be pretty good. But that's pretty much it for equipment grinding. If there's something you guys are looking for specifically, you can leave a message in the video, and we'll try to get back to you. We do also have an announcement after to give you guys a heads up. So, you know, like, comment, subscribe, give us a handle, give us a yell, give us a holler, and don't get miserable. So, secondarily, we have been contacted by one of our older vendors. Paint Shop is pretty good. We'll leave his Twitter in the description so you guys can reach out to him. Big heads up, these are not chargebacks. It's not like the days of old where you're going to get your account banned if they catch up to you. He just buys iTunes cards in bulk, so he tends to get a better deal on them. So you can get 156 gems for 64 bucks. That's not too bad considering the going rate. We can just look at diamonds to show you. So you only get 150 for $80, so it's about $20 off, kind of give or take. So for the same rate, you can save yourself 20 bucks if you're reaching out. Just tell him we sent you. That's the big deal, because he will give you a special price. If he will give you the price quoted if you notate that you are being sent by Fort Misery Gaming. So reach out to him. We'll have his Twitter bio in there, and I imagine he will also have a Discord. I have to ask if he wants us to actually have you guys reach out to him on there. If he does, I will put it in the bottom of the description. Other than that, you guys have a good one, and good luck out there.